Joe Rogan recently explained why, in his view. Tom Aspinall could be the most dangerous fighter the UFC's heavyweight division has ever witnessed.
Who's next big heavyweight star?
Tom Aspinall, the guy who
Of
just
course, who
won
just
the
won.
interim title. He's phenomenal. And he is, again, the next the next advancement of the evolution of the sport.
How so?
Well, because he can do everything. That guy's got elite jiu-jitsu. He's got elite takedowns. His striking is outstanding. Like, I've seen a lot of heavyweight, even Francis, who's like the greatest, scariest power striker I've ever seen in the heavyweight division. No one's scarier than Francis. Francis does not move like Tom Aspinall. Tom Aspinall is significantly faster than every other heavyweight. That's a real problem because he's a heavyweight and he's a big guy, a really big guy, but he moves so fast. And so his speed has always been like extraordinary compared to other heavyweights. Like, he just fucking moves in. It's all like fast, explosive movements. So he's got natural speed, but then he's also got a lot of training to execute quickly. So when he moves in, he closes the gap. You can see like he's fast for a big guy.
Right.
I want to see it so bad.
John was shitting all over Aspinall, saying that
I think that's
lucky.
a bad way to go.
He was lucky that he blew his knee out with Curtis Blades because Curtis was teeing off
Doing
on him.
well.
Unless John avoided him, unless John used his wrestling to avoid exchanges.
He also shared why he believes Aspinall has the tools to take down Jon Jones. Fans are paying close attention because when Rogan speaks on heavyweight power and fight intelligence, the MMA world listens.
Stipe fight, which is just like, it's a weird thing.
Aspinall's an athlete, man. He's such a good athlete.
Freak athlete.
Very fast for a heavyweight.
So fast.
Yeah, but we felt the same way about Cyril Gane.
Yeah, but
Cyril
Gane
Gane doesn't have wrestling, doesn't have jiu-jitsu. Aspinall's like legit on the ground. Very legit on the ground.
So legit that his dad owned a jiu-jitsu gym. His dad's a black belt. He started doing jiu-jitsu at 2.
Yeah, I'm interested to see how Aspinall is past the first round, right? Because we've seen him. He looks so fast. He looks, you're like, nobody moves like him. He looks like a younger Kane.
Right.
But he just keeps knocking these guys out so quick. So I'm like, let me see him past the first round to see if he has that cardio as well.
Rogan's analysis has sparked speculation. Could this mean Jon Jones' reign at the top is nearing its end?
Pound for pound, and we won't ever find out. I think Tom Aspinall's the best. I think Tom,
who knows?
I think Tom beats him.
Who knows if John beats him? John might beat him up.
Yeah, he could.
John might take him down and fucking ragdoll him on the ground, like, you know.
John easily could, because we don't know how good John is either.
And we also don't know what happens to Tom Aspinall in the 3rd, 4th, and 5th rounds. We have zero
because no one's gotten there.
No one's even gotten close.
There's so many question marks. Like, we don't know how good John is.
Right.
You can't tell me John's the best of all time, or he is the best GOAT, but you can't tell me he's the baddest heavyweight on the planet after being an older Stipe. That's not going to do it for me.
Right.
Aspinall looks fucking good, and he's in his prime.
Man, well, Cyril Gane almost beat Francis. I know you can say the thing about the knee, and Jones just smoked him.
Went right through.
We also didn't know fucking Cyril Gane was a fucking 3-stripe white belt. That's news to me.
What is it? So what does
Did
that
he get that 3rd stripe?
It's MMA. He's got to be able to.
I'm just saying, like the bulldog guillotine. It's like, hey, dude.
Yeah.
I think he might have frozen. It feels like he froze in the big lights there.
You're calling out Jon Jones.
Yeah.
Right? That's the boogeyman. Like, Jon Jones is the fucking boogeyman. When he fought Gustafson, he had almost no training camp. They said he barely showed up. I talked to Jackson about it, and Greg Jackson was always like, he didn't even train for that fight. He pulled that fight off in the 4th and 5th rounds. That's when he really turned it up. So you're talking about a guy who hasn't even been training. And then you saw the real Jon Jones in the 2nd fight. That's motivated Jon Jones.
If Jon Jones and Tom Aspinall ever step into the octagon together, it could become one of the most high-stakes clashes in UFC history, not just for the heavyweight division, but for the legacy Jon Jones has built over his entire career.
I bet if he's weighing 215, he would fight Tom Aspinall better than him weighing 245 pounds. In his 205 frame, he could fight Tom Aspinall better than he'd fight him at that 250 because that's not his weight class. While he didn't last long with Cyril, he didn't look as fast. He carried more weight. Cyril just did some weird stuff. And John, you don't make mistakes against John.
Jon Jones is a bad guy who's trying to be a good guy. If we were living 1,000 years ago, he would be on a horse with the biggest battle axe, hacking heads off, and everybody would be running. And those people have always existed. These dominators have always existed. But Jon is like a genuinely sensitive, intelligent guy who's trying to do the right thing. But he's a fucking conqueror. He's a fucking conqueror. That's the thing that's inside of him that leads him to be the GOAT. Jon Jones, one of the greatest of all time.
He's going to come back. He's going to fight Tom.
Yes. You don't think so? No? Really?
For what?
For glory.
He already has the glory.
Yeah, one more glory before the lights fade.
Yeah.
Jon's a conqueror.
He's the best of all time. No one can say the opposite of that. He's the best.
He's fucking terrifying.
From a stylistic standpoint, this would be a true battle between eras. Jon Jones brings world-class grappling, masterful cage control, unpredictable striking, and the kind of championship poise that only comes from years. At the top, he survived 5-round wars, battled through setbacks, and consistently outsmarted some of the sport's most dangerous contenders. His calm under pressure, sharp eye for openings, and ability to neutralize opponents' strengths have kept him dominant for more than a decade.
Think about Jon Jones picking his fights.
Aspinall is very talented. Legacy-wise, Pereira is a good fight for him. I think Jon has gotten better. He shut out the longest winning heavyweight champion there was.
I mean, do you think Tom Aspinall and Jon Jones will actually fight?
I think they will.
Guys, I have never seen a fight that we've wanted that we've then been denied. No different than the girl at school that you're chasing and she's telling you no. Lose steam. This fight is a smaller fight now than it was 3 months ago. Aspinall versus Jones, which, by the way, I don't maintain for that it could be resurrected one press conference or one Instagram live by Dana. I'm just sharing for you right now. Jones and Aspinall was not only hotter 3 months ago, it was hotter than that 5 months ago. And it is coming to an almost crawl.
On the flip side, Tom Aspinall brings a completely different threat to the table-blazing speed. Smooth movement and explosive power rarely seen in the heavyweight ranks. He glides like a middleweight, reacts like a lightweight, and hits like a truck. That's what makes this potential showdown so hard to predict. If Jon is able to close the distance, control the tempo, drag Aspinall into the clinch, and rely on his wrestling to wear him down, we might witness a vintage. Jon Jones displays strategic, relentless, and mentally exhausting for his opponent.
When you see Jon on camera, almost uncomfortable and absolutely fucking decimated. The greatest heavyweight. When you talk about what it really means to be pound for pound, never lost a fight ever. Jones has like German Shepherd dogs that that do all the attack shit, shoots guns. Jon Jones has a very fucking dark side to him.
Jon Jones is famous for studying tape and devising game plans and strategies that are based on what he sees about his opponent's tendencies. That's how he caught Daniel Cormier with that left high kick. Like he knew that Daniel dips to the right because Daniel had a tendency, and Jon exploited that tendency. And he goes, "I'm the greatest of all time for a reason, and that reason is I'm fully prepared for every fight. I'm not going to take a fight against someone who I'm not fully prepared for."
And has he had the same coach his entire career?
Yes. Yes.
So that's
That's Jackson Winklejohn. He's been with them forever.
And that's an incredible pairing.
Well, it's incredible. Jackson, in particular, is fantastic at devising strategies to deal with opponents.
He can see Tom going on to dominate the heavyweight division for years to come, go down as the greatest MMA fighter of all time. Do you see him capable of achieving that?
But when you start talking, he won this fight tonight, he could be the greatest of all time. Again, you know how I feel about Jon Jones, even being within Jon Jones' universe, in my opinion.
But if Aspinall finds his range early, if he connects clean and makes Art Jon adjust to his speed and movement, we could be watching the end of a legendary reign and the rise of a new era in the heavyweight division.
I interviewed Tom Aspinall in London. He wants to fight Jon Jones. He thinks he'll beat Jon Jones.
Yes, he does. I love that. And a young, aggressive, talented heavyweight that he actually wants to fight all the best. The problem in this business is you have guys that say a lot of things publicly, but behind the curtains don't mean it. Don't really want these fights. Tom Aspinall is not that guy. Tom Aspinall wants to fight all the best in the world.
The biggest question on everyone's mind is whether this fight will actually happen, and if so, when. Jon is still in recovery, still on the move, and still dropping cryptic hints about what's next. Even though he's said he's open to coming back, there's no official date, no clear announcement, no solid indication that he's fully committed to defending his belt.
It's Aspinall's fight. I mean, we've been talking to this kid forever about it, and it's his fight. Listen, you can't make people fight. If Jon doesn't want to fight, can't make him fight. We can try to make him fight. We can throw things at him that inspire him to want to fight, but we'll figure it out.
With every month that goes by, the distance between Jon's legendary status and the current reality grows. Aspinall is only getting sharper he's in his prime hand, the longer the wait drags on, the more it feels like Jon is holding the division back instead of pushing it forward. And that's what makes this moment so critical. Jon Jones isn't just another champion. He's widely seen as the greatest to ever step into the octagon. He's undefeated in competition, with a legacy built on defeating champions across to weight classes and over a decade of dominance. But all of that could be overshadowed not by what he's done, but by what he chooses to do next. Because if he doesn't face Tom Aspinall, there will always be a question mark.
Tom Aspinall? God damn. It's like you risk going down as no matter what, you don't have to fight again. Greatest of all time, people will say that. You're the greatest of all time. Greatest of all time, Jon Jones. Or you risk it, go fight Tom Aspinall, possibly lose, and then it's like, he was the greatest. Then they're saying, yeah, but he wasn't in his prime.
He's the fastest, quickest, most powerful heavyweight on the planet. He's the favourite against Jon Jones. And no man alive can beat Tom Aspinall, in my humble opinion. And that's with the greatest of respect to Jon Jones.
Toe came out of his skin when he fought me. He wrapped it himself to go to the press conference. He didn't want to miss his press conference. So he wraps it himself because the doctors refused. That's inappropriate treatment. We're not going to do that. We're taking you to the hospital. This is a tough guy. And when it comes to grit, and you gotta have it, we know for sure that Jon does. Now, that doesn't mean that Tom does not. But we don't know that. And we don't know that those punches are as hard and as fast with equal accuracy.
Leave a giant what-if hanging over the final chapter of his career, and if he loses, the GOAT conversation could shift in an instant. But if Jon returns, defeats Aspinall, and walks away on his own terms, he doesn't just preserve his legacy, he seals it in stone. That's what makes this fight so special. It's not just about championship belts or divisional rankings, it's about everything that defines the sport. Legacy, power, timing, and pressure. Whether this clash happens or not. One thing is certain, if Jon Jones and Tom Aspinall ever meet in the octagon, the whole world will be watching.